Hello, everyone. Welcome to our second Wellspring Family Services WellConnected event. My name is Matt Lund, and I choose to give and volunteer my time to Wellspring because Wellspring's efforts and programs are proven to help our friends and neighbors avoid and exit the cycle of family homelessness. I'm also honored to serve as a member of Wellspring's Board of Directors, and I'm particularly excited to facilitate tonight's program on Wellspring's Baby Boutique. Before we get the program started, a quick bit of housekeeping. Should a question come to mind, please feel free to type it into the chat and we'll address and answer questions as we go throughout the discussion. As we begin the program, I'd like to start with a land acknowledgement. As part of Wellspring's commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion, and with the hope that this acknowledgement will inspire all of us to take action to support our Indigenous communities. I'd like to honor the land and acknowledge that we are on the unceded ancestral land of the first people of Seattle, the coastal Salish people, past and present. I want to honor with gratitude the Salish people who've taken care of this land and the land itself. We give thanks for nurturing us, giving us air, and providing us shelter on the land. I'd also like to honor those who were forced to come here as forced labor. We honor our ancestors and give thanks. With me tonight are Wellspring's Baby Boutique Program Manager, Carly Lee, and Wellspring's Senior Director of Childhood Services, Bavette Irvis. And I'll ask them each to introduce themselves briefly.
Hi, everyone. My name is Carly Lee, and I'm excited to be here with you all tonight. Thank you again for taking the time to join us. For me personally, I'm really passionate about supporting children and families within our community by ensuring that their basic needs are met so that families can thrive together. And I've been working in basic needs distribution for several years now, and it's work that I greatly enjoy, and I love being able to see the direct impact that it has on the community. And that's why I'm grateful to be in a role at Wellspring Family Services that allows me to continue this work and to work with children and families within our community here. And I am the Baby Boutique Program Manager, as Matt mentioned, and I'm coming to you directly from the boutique, so you can actually see a little bit of it behind me firsthand.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining Matt, Kaylee, and Carly and I this evening. My name is Bavette Irvis, and I am the Senior Director of Childhood Services here at Wellspring. And I have been leading this work for a little over 32 years now. And so I am very passionate about providing quality services to children services that actually uphold and honor who they are as people, because oftentimes the families that we serve here are Wellspring, they do not have positive interactions in many institutions that they interact with. So when they step through the doors here at Wellspring, it has been my lifelong work here. Feels like my life has been here. Been here 32 years to make sure that when they come here, step through our doors, well, not so much right now because of the pandemic, but outside of that, when they interact with us, just want to make sure that they're having the best social services experience that they've ever encountered.
Thanks so much, and I'm looking forward to a great conversation. But before we get started, we have a short video that'll give us a sneak peek into the Baby Boutique and a tour. There we go.
Hi, I'm Vanessa. I'm a teacher here at Wellspring Family Services, and today I'm going to give you a tour of the Baby Boutique. Wellspring's Baby Boutique is a free thrift store where families who are experiencing or who have experienced homelessness can come and shop for free clothing and essentials for their children. When a family arrives at the Baby Boutique, they're given a shopping list for each of their children. They use this shopping list to go and browse through and select the items they would like, just like they're at any other store. As well as clothing, we also hand out puzzles, toys, and books. Families are welcome to take home as many books as they would like. We also give our families hygiene supplies such as toothpaste, soap, and shampoo. For families with babies, we have diapers, wipes, and formula. Everything you see in our Baby Boutique is donated by families or organizations. Before our donations go on the floor, they're sorted through, most often by our volunteers. We also have a washer and dryer to ensure all clothing is clean. Without the support of our donors, the Baby Boutique wouldn't be able to run. So thank you if you've donated before. If you'd like to donate, we are most often in need of diapers and hygiene supplies, as these are the things we quickly run short on. More information will be available on our website at the end of this video. Thank you for coming to the Baby Boutique. I hope you enjoyed your tour. Bye.
Carly, why does our community need the Baby Boutique?
Yeah, I'm happy to kick us off and get our conversation going here about the Baby Boutique and why it's important to the community. You know, the mission of Wellspring Family Services is to end the cycle of family homelessness. And the population that we're working with are families who are either currently homeless or at the risk of becoming homeless. And for these families, you know, they likely have limited funds. And when families have limited funds, they have to make decisions on what to spend their money on. So they may be looking at decisions like, should I spend money on rent, paying utilities, buying food and groceries, or buying basic essentials like clothing for their children. And the boutique is really here to help families that are in these types of situations and hopefully alleviate some of the financial stress that they might be experiencing when it comes to purchasing items like clothing or diapers for their children, and hopefully be able to provide those items to those families so they don't have to worry about that aspect while they're trying to kind of either find stable housing or secure stable housing. So we really want the boutique to be here as one less worry for a family so that they can focus on other needs. And also just to make sure that all families have the items that they need for their children to develop and to grow as they get older and, you know, later on in life. And kind of a good story I can think of that showcases really well why the boutique is so important here is we had a mother who had been referred to the boutique to use us about a year and a half ago. She was a single mom with 2 young children, both boys under the age of 4. And she was referred to us because she had been living out of her car. And when she came to the boutique, she really didn't have any items for her kids. And she was able to get things like diapers and hygiene items and clothing to kind of start off with what she needed for her 2 young boys. And she eventually moved into a shelter. And throughout her time at the shelter, she was also able to come back to the boutique a few times to get new items for her kids as they were growing and developing and get, you know, new clothing that fit correctly and more hygiene items and things like that. And, you know, eventually she was able to also secure her own stable housing as well as secure a stable job. And once she kind of was back on her feet, she didn't really need the boutique anymore because she was really doing well for herself. And just about a month ago or so, she came back to the boutique. And it wasn't to use our program or shop for items. She actually came to donate items to the boutique. And we were talking to her and she was explaining that the boutique really had helped her in a time when she felt like there wasn't really anyone to turn to. She didn't know what resources or help would really be that helpful to her and her kids. And the boutique was there throughout her time of trying to find stable housing and was really a resource that she leaned on to be able to secure her housing and secure her job. And I think that's just really great to hear, and you know, kind of a full circle story of a family who started, you know, homeless. She was able to get housing and then was able to actually donate directly back to the boutique. And she really just wanted to give her items to families who might be in a similar situation as herself to be able to, you know, help another family out in the way that the boutique had.
That's an amazing story, Carly, about how the Baby Boutique helps the community, help families in need. And so right now, during COVID, we had to pivot in order to pivot in how we're serving families. So prior to COVID, as Carly talked about, families would actually come into the Baby Boutique and shop. And so they came through a referral process, either internally through Wellspring staff or externally through case managers external to the organization. And so when the pandemic came, you know, we're like, wow, the Baby Boutique is such a great resource for the community. We can't not serve the community. So what we did is we've closed the Baby Boutique where clients could not come into the building because the building was closed, but we pivoted to have staff be personal shoppers. And so the process now is that either families directly call us or their case managers call or email to place an order, and staff who are now in the role of personal shoppers, you know, go in and choose the items that the families have stated that they would like, bag them up, and then the families also, when they call, or the case managers, they set an arranged date or time to come by and pick up the items. So we are still serving the community, but just in a different way. As I said, we pivoted.
And we call that store the Baby Boutique. But from what I understand, it's more than just baby items. Can you talk a little bit about some of the things that are offered there?
Yeah, so as you mentioned, it is called the Baby Boutique, which might make you think that we're only serving infants and young babies, but we actually serve newborn all the way up until age 18. So not just the little ones, we're also serving the teenagers up until 18 with items that they would need. And in regard to what's available, we really, we want to focus on what children need to grow and develop and succeed. So we have items like clothing, hygiene products, diapers, shoes, books, learning toys, all available to the families when they, come into the boutique as they did pre-COVID, or us now picking the items out for the families. We also have other items like blankets and bed linens, various baby gear that we also make available because often families are looking for those types of items as well. And we really throughout the year try to keep as robust of an inventory as we can to make sure that we're serving the needs of the families to the best of our ability.
And I think as well too, when families call up now, because at the beginning of the pandemic, I was out at the lobby desk, so I would take the phone calls. They would call up and they're being very modest in what they want, and they'll say, "Oh, I just need diapers for a 3-month-old." So any of us, when we hear, "Oh, you have a 3-month-old," or even a 10-year-old, no matter what the age. So we're like, well, are you sure you don't need clothes? Are you sure you don't need shoes? Are you sure you don't need and then it's like, well, yes, if you have it. I just didn't want to ask. I didn't want to be greedy. And we're like, no, we're here to serve you. So what is it that you need? Whatever it is, we will try to fill the order to the best of our ability.
With winter coming up, are there any needs in the Baby Boutique in terms of items that can be donated?
Yeah, definitely with winter coming up, as families are calling, almost every family that we're speaking to is looking for warm coats and rain jackets, rain boots. We get a lot of requests for like fleece jackets or pants that are warm as well, mittens and warm hats. With the rain and the weather changing and it being much colder now, families are definitely looking for those warm weather items. And then also with the holidays coming up, a lot of families are calling asking if we'll have items available for the holidays. So they're looking for gifts for their kids. And, as I mentioned before, we serve all the way up to 18. So not just gifts like toys for the little kids, but also items that teenagers would like headphones or, purses, wallets, jewelry, things like that the older kids would like. Those are definitely in need at the moment. And also just generally throughout the year, we always have a high need for diapers, wipes, and hygiene products. Families are always looking for those items throughout the year. And, when we have them available, they go really quick, especially diapers. Like size 5 and 6 diapers are always really fast to go and really high need. And families are always looking for those types of items. So those are always in need here at the boutique.
And what's the best way for our friends in the community to get involved with the Baby Boutique?
Yeah, so there are a few ways that people can get involved with the boutique. The first is you can make a financial contribution to provide clothing, diapers, or other essentials to families that are being served by Wellspring. And if you are interested in making a financial contribution, you can go to our website and donate directly online there. You can also come to the boutique and donate either new or your gently used children items as well. But the list of items that we mentioned, like clothing and hygiene, books, toys, we take those items here at the boutique for donation Monday through Friday, and you're welcome to come by and drop off those donations. And at the end of the program, we'll also put a screen up that'll have contact information available if you're interested in donating and have questions about how exactly to donate or what items are needed. You can reach out to the email or phone number that we share on the screen later.
Another way to be involved as well too is through volunteering. And so the Baby Boutique, prior to COVID, we had a tremendous amount of volunteers that were coming in to assist, with all the, whether it's with sorting clothes, getting things on the racks, assisting with laundry, because currently alluded that we do a lot of laundry. But right now with COVID, that we have limited the amount of volunteers that are coming in. And now with the governor's new order that just came out for the next 4 weeks, we are not having any volunteers coming in, but we most certainly volunteer. If anyone is interested in volunteer, you can contact Wellspring through the website www.wellspringfs.org wellspring.org/volunteer, and believe we'll have that information up later. And so we will take your name to put on a wait list, so to speak, so that when it's safe again to have volunteers come into the Baby Boutique, someone will contact you and you can come in and volunteer.
Fantastic. And there's a great question in chat. The question is there a preference of donating items or money?
I think right now, especially with the holidays, having items is great because it gets to us directly, and then we're able to get it out really quickly to a family. But either is also amazing. If you donate money, then we're able to get items like diapers and hygiene that are really needed for families. So either is really amazing. But if you have items to donate already, it's great to have you bring them in.
I will say with the items as well too is our preference is really gently used items or new, but definitely gently used items, because one of the things, well, not one of the things, the main thing is like we really want to preserve the dignity of the families that we are serving. And so we like to offer the families items that are in good condition, whether that's clothing or toys or shoes, anything that we offer to the families, we want it to be in good condition, because the families that we serve are like any other families, and they want their children, they want their parents to look good. And so we want to support that. We do support that.
Another question in chat, a couple deal with this. Is there a store or an Amazon list that we could click on an item and send it to Wellspring?
Yeah, so we do have an Amazon list, and actually right now we have our 2020 holiday giving together drive is actually happening right now. And it's an Amazon list that has a whole list of items from diapers, clothing, toys, those items that we're really looking for right now. So we do have an Amazon list that you can visit. And I believe if it's not on the last screen, we will be able to share that in the chat, or you can contact us and we can share the list with you. But you can certainly go on Amazon and find those items there, and then you can ship it directly to us.
And Carly, you just referenced, I believe, that it's the 2020 Giving Together Holiday Drive. And this is a 100% online drive. It will be through that Amazon charity list. And what we're hoping is that people can go to the Amazon wish list and select items prior to December 18th so they can be delivered and then distributed. That would just be fantastic. Another question is coming through chat. What kind of toys are we looking for?
Yes, I would definitely say toys that have, learning aspects to them, like STEM toys or musical toys. Those are great. We actually get a lot of parents who are asking for educational toys for their kids, and they're in the, critical developmental stages. So any toy that's going to help a child with educational purposes or development, I think those are specifically great. And then, like I mentioned before, for the older teens, they like things like sports equipment or games, things like that for the older kids as well.
And along the lines of toys, I would add books as well too. It's very having books is very important to the families that we serve, and particularly books that are multicultural, because we serve families from various variety of backgrounds. So having books that where they can see children that's reflective of them is important as well too.
Yeah, and I also am just seeing this other question about specific sizes, which I feel like goes along with this. In regards to clothing sizes, we do have specific sizes that are most needed. Typically, we don't get as many of the 4T, 5T toddler size clothing for boys and girls. So those sizes are a really high need, as well as the sort of 6 to about 14 youth sizes. We don't see a lot of those in for boys or girls either. So both of those size ranges are really critical for us.
Excellent. Getting back to the Baby Boutique shopping experience, one of the things that I've been the most impressed with in my work with Wellspring is how it is that our customers are treated. And I wonder, Bavette, if you could discuss a little bit about the shopping experience and what it is that we at Wellspring aim to do with regard to the people that we work with.
Yeah, dignity, treating the families families with dignity. And so I said, whether it was pre-COVID with them coming in and shopping themselves, or now as shopping for the families, is really preserving their dignity. And so one thing I will talk about is laundry. We do a tremendous amount of laundry in the Baby Boutique because we feel that it's important to give the families, as I said before, items that are in good condition. And so regardless of whether, someone has taken the time to launder stuff when they come in, we're washing everything. We're washing everything because, things come in and they get put together and stuff. And so when COVID hit, and as I said, volunteers and interns left because for their own, their own safety, their own protection, they decided not to be here. Laundry started piling up because there's only one washer and one dryer in the Baby Boutique. And so, also there's a washer and dryer in the Early Learning Center as well. So we started using both washers and dryers, but so many donations continued to come in, which we really appreciated because we needed it, but we just didn't have enough people power to keep up with the laundry. So two staff people decided that they would volunteer, give up their Sunday to go and do laundry. So they took about 25 plus large trash bags, the lawn and leaf size bags. They took about 25 of those, they piled them into their car, went to a laundromat on a Sunday morning. They made sure that they were there at 6 o'clock in the morning to be there. The first ones, as soon as the door opened, they went in, they took all the washers, all the dryers to do all the laundry because they were committed to getting all the laundry, everything that had come in that was piling up, getting them clean. And so, like I said, and so that right there, that's a huge commitment because at 6 o'clock on a Sunday morning, most of us are in bed asleep. I know I was asleep that Sunday morning. Every Sunday morning at 6, I'm still in bed asleep. But I mean, so that story just illustrates the commitment that there is towards the family and preserving their dignity and treating them with respect and kindness.
We had a question come in the chat, and it says, this has to be rewarding work, but I imagine it's challenging. What keeps you going and inspires you to continue doing this important work?
I can start, Babette. Yeah, it's definitely rewarding work, and there are challenges that come along with it. But I think, especially in my role, I do get to interact with the families directly. Obviously now not so much as we're just doing curbside pickup, through opening a door and providing them with the items. But being able to interact with the families and, see them receive the items is definitely something that keeps me going. And there are other things, like I started off in basic needs distribution, and one of the first stats that I learned was that 1 in 3 families struggle to provide diapers for their children here in the US. And I think that's a really astounding stat and something that I always think about. And, diapers, like I mentioned, are a #1 item that our families are looking for. And knowing things like that always keeps me going as well. But being able to interact with the families really is wonderful. And also, like Babette was mentioning, our wonderful staff, being able to have each other's back. And, when times are tough and we have a lot of donations, maybe we're going through a lot of stuff, we can all lean on each other. And I think that's also something that's really helpful in this type of work.
And I would say for me, Carly has the more day-to-day interactions in the Baby Boutique, but for me, just being involved with childhood services, which is the Baby Boutique and the Early Learning Center in general. Children are my passion. Like I said, I've been doing this work for 32 years, and I can honestly say in the 32 years I've been here at Wellspring, I have never had a day that I was bored out of my mind. Each day, I have never been bored because each day is a new day to start over. If you tired and worn out, you go home, rejuvenate, come back, because just seeing the children and the smiles on their faces and interacting with the families and learning about the families and their backgrounds. And they are so appreciative, and they don't have to be appreciative. We're here to serve. We're here to serve them. And so just being here to meet those basic needs, as Carly was saying, is really rewarding.
I'll say as a board member, and part of the reason I got involved with Wellspring in the first place is my continuing and growing realization that any one of us could become homeless. And when I attend Wellspring events and I meet homeless parents, I see people that are my age. They have the same age children as I do, and I realize that could be me. And it's important to have a resource like this available for our friends and neighbors in the community. And that's something that Wellspring has done for over 100 years, has served our community in this way. But I think it also speaks to the need for caring people in our community to take a role in working with Wellspring, whether it's through volunteering or donating. I think we're all in this together, and Wellspring is a great place to do it. A question has come in about the Amazon wish lists, and I wonder if it's possible to post the links to our Amazon wish lists in the chat so people can click on there and donate if they want to. There's a question about when does the holiday drive start?
So our holiday drive, I believe the Amazon list is live right now. So if we are able to share it on through the chat, then you click on that link, you'll be able to see everything right now to be able to participate in the drive.
Excellent. Let's see here. Trying to see if there's any more questions that are coming into Q&A and chat. We've got a great one here. It says, I donate hand knitted items that I make specifically for the baby boutique, mostly baby blankets, but some other items as well. Those knitted items have laundry instructions on them. Some would be better dried flat rather than put in a dryer. Are those blankets burdensome for you to launder?
No, we certainly, we love getting them in. All of the hand knitted items that we get are amazing. And especially now, you know, with the warm, the weather changing and it's being so cold, especially the knitted hats and the blankets are really great. We get them in and they go almost immediately. As soon as we get them in, we leave them out. So they're available to us to put into an order. So we love those. You don't have to worry about, you know, the laundry piece of it. They're great and families really enjoy getting them too.
Excellent. And I see now that the drive for the holidays runs through December 18th. And I mentioned that earlier. And we now have a link to the charity list in the chat. So when you're interested in doing so, please click on that and make a donation. We would really appreciate it. And it'll all go to fantastic immediate use.
Matt, I just want to say as well too, you know, something's really amazing about Carly and her team. What I've seen, what I've observed is that, you know, a mom might show up to pick up her order and then they notice, you know, like the children that she has, like, you know, if she has, you know, maybe she's holding her infant. And it's like, oh, do you have a carrier or do you have a car? Do you need a car seat? So not only is the mom picking up her order, but then she's also getting additional things that she didn't even order because they're being observant and noticing that there might be other needs and filling those needs.
And if families are like mine, their kids are growing out of things before they can even try them on for the first time. And I think that a lot of families aren't sure exactly where or how to donate items. Can you talk about that one more time about where it is people can drop off items to donate and what the hours are?
Yeah, so you can drop off directly at our baby boutique, which is in the Wellspring Family Services building. And we can put the address in the chat, but we're located on Rainier Avenue South. And we're open Monday through Friday from 9 until 4:30 p.m. for donation drop-offs. You don't have to call ahead. You can come anytime between those hours, where right now with COVID, the building is locked, but we do have a doorbell outside of the building. So if you come to the front door, you can just ring that doorbell. Someone will come out and help you with the donation, and you'll be able to bring that to the front door, and then we'll grab the donation from you. We also have tax receipts available as well if anyone is interested in filling that out while they're here. But you're welcome to drop off anytime within our Monday through Friday hours and drop off any items you might have.
Fantastic. And if there are any more questions that you might have, go ahead and put them in the chat and we can answer them. But in the meantime, I'd like to give a big thank you to everyone for your time and support of Wellspring Family Services. I hope that you learned something today. I hope it was interesting and entertaining. I know I'm having fun. We'd like to invite each of you to join us for our next Wellspring WellConnected event, which is set for February 17th, 2021. It will be 2021 soon, don't worry, at noon. And it's going to focus on the Early Learning Center, which Bavette referenced earlier in our discussion. It's going to be great. In the meantime, if you have any questions about this discussion or anything related to Wellspring Family Services, please feel free to send us an email at wellconnected@wellspringfs.org, and we can answer your questions of any sort. Thanks again, everyone, and I hope you have a fantastic evening and a great holiday season.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.